I'm like, I don't want to see dead baby fetuses on my Facebook post.
I just ate.
Well, who does? Like, all right, for the record.
Then,
but for the record, like when I went on a trip out west, when I went to Vegas, I went to the Bodies Museum, and there's a section in that or I don't know if it's a museum or if it's a what you call that, but there's a section where they show dead fetuses and different things along those lines, and there's a sign up that says, you may want to bow out before you go in here because of the nature of this shit.
Right.
And you know what I'm talking about. They colored like whole circulatory systems and set them up, so you could see everything. It's a pretty fucking neat little thing to walk through.
But you were warned.
Yeah.
When I open up my Facebook page and somebody's posting anti-abortion stuff, whether I agree with it or not,
right,
I'm not warned, and I sit here and I see a dead baby fetus on my Facebook. I'm gonna unfollow you, yes, but you still didn't earn a block because it's your opinion. I'm not gonna block somebody over their opinion.
Right.
I'm pretty sure only pedophile necrophiliacs would like that.
Well, it was somebody who was trying to get a point across, and I understand that. But I'm still going, whether I agree with your point or not, if you blast it on Facebook, I don't want to see it.
Right.
Or if you tag me in a frickin' post. Wait, I'm allowed to say fucking on this show. If you tag me in a fucking post because you think I might be interested in it or you're trying to sell me something, you're going to get it unfollow then too.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see it.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay. I'm down.
There's somebody else I'm unfollowing right here.
Who else are you unfollowing?
I am not going to say it on the air.
Christopher York?
Unfollow Joshua. I unfollowed Joshua. If you're Joshua, quit posting the political bullshit. There you go.
There's only two things Steve cares about: eBay and selling shit on eBay.
No, even then, if you're posting all your...
Richard, what is it with the fucking goddamn wind on your microphone?
It's my fan.
Yeah, well, it's annoying during the show.
But it's really hot.
Yeah.
What is really hot to... Wait, you'd have to do the conversion for us Americans to understand.
Here we go.
How many Celsiuses is hot to you? You guys use centigrade over there, right? He's doing the conversion.
No, he's shut off his mic. He gave up. He's quitting the show, Steve, right now. Because I brought up the wind on his fucking microphone.
He's gone.
Is he gone?
He's gone. Oh, he's back. See that? He can't leave us. He can't quit us.
Yeah. I wish I could quit you.
There, I turned my fan off.
Well, now he's getting roast to death.
And by the end of the show, he's going to be like sweating balls.
3 or 4 centigrade. Probably is what it is over there. How hot is it, Richard?
It's about 20 C at the moment.
Wow. That sounds really hot.
Shut up, Steve. No one's talking to you.
Ooh.
You are.
A little bit of fucking...
Whether you want to or not.
Are we ready to start this shit, gentlemen?
One second. Can I just insult you for the topic, title of the show?
No.
I missed the title. What is it?
No. You wait.
You wait till he says the title. Nobody
like
knows the title.
Good little bitch.
Yes, sir, boss.
Hey, that was a good Southern accent.
Yeah, I'm pretty
impressed. Good right there. I was impressed. Do that again.
Yes, sir, boss.
Nice.
Whoa,
he sounded very American right there.
He sheds it like a fucking artist. I love it.
I think that maybe everybody who thinks that Richard really isn't British is right. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I thank you. I thank you.
All right. So anyway, this is the Fortean Slip, episode 36. Let's do the time slip again.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree with Richard on this one.
It gave me cancer, him saying it out loud.
Let's do the time slip again.
Stop saying it out loud.
It's just like
It's
the
awful.
twist. I mean, I would have done something different totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one. Normally
I
you're
don't
doing
have
this.
too many fucking options.
You
I could have gone with time keeps on slipping.
That's what,
You know, I mean, what other fucking options do I have?
You
And
could
I
have
went-
called it
and-
tonight's
And
episode.
no, hey. And I went for the fucking goddamn Rocky Horror reference because you and I always reference it on the show, Richard. So
Isn't it?
kind of, dickhead. It was a nod to you, you little fuck.
I noticed-
Wow.
I think that's occurring to you after the fact. I don't
No,
think that was your-
no. It's not
forethought.
occurring to me after the fact. You fucking British piece of shit.
I think you're getting a little too defensive.
We
That's
should have
all
done
I
it
thought.
least-
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting pissed because it was a nod to you.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
see? There you go.
Well, I feel bad now.
Yeah, you
We
should.
should've- You should have probably left the show for real.
Go drink your fucking tea.
I will drink mine.
Oh, that's kind of racism there, isn't it?
It is.
I've never really stopped you guys in the past.
I believe in British racism.
Oh boy, what did I come into tonight?
Hey, I'm
British
telling
lives
you.
matter.
I'm telling you right now. That was it was a nod to the fact that you and I always reference the time warp on the show. Always.
There you go.
Well,
Richard's
it's
never.
just a jump to the left.
That's
and then
right.
it's to the right.
Put your hands on your hips, Richard.
And bring your knees in tight.
Yes, sir. So anyway, we had discussed last week because who brought that up, who brought it up in the chat room that we should do time slips?
Chubs.
Yeah.
Chubbs.
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 Chubbs isn't even in here tonight, probably.
He was in earlier.
Was he okay? Or she? Do we know if it's a guy?
I think it's a undecided
Chub.
gender.
Chubbs kind of indicates guy.
Chubbs is what happens to me when I see a camel toe.
Really? I just go you.
Really? Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it takes all kinds, but
Yeah.
Hey.
Not judging.
And as you shouldn't. I mean, come on now.
no. I mean, if you're into the camel toe, you're into the camel toe. No big
That's
deal.
right. Nothing like a fucking nice pair of tight yoga pants.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, that's because you're. Well, you like 14-inch cock, so.
No.
That's very
Shorty
true.
shorts.
He's like tight yoga pants on.
No, what he wants is a fucking.
Frog
you know,
eye.
Yeah, he wants one of those. What are those? Swimming trunks there where it literally just
man
has
thong.
like a sack. It just literally has a sack for your bag and.
No,
The
I'm not.
mankini. That's what you're thinking about.
I'm kind of like
Steve likes banana hammocks and
no. I like like the Daisy Dukes. I mean, they grew
On
up
men?
watching no, on women.
when a guy bends over, Steve wants to see his balls sticking out.
No.
either side.
It is like gross, man. I don't care if you, I don't care if you're gay or not. That's still fucking gross.
Oh.
I mean, if you enjoy that, then there's something wrong with you, whether you're gay or not.
Yeah.
Men's balls are not an attractive thing,
No.
even to women.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
just saying.
Some women find balls attractive.
Really?
Steve, I think your subset is pretty fucking small of what you're basing your data set on.
I think it's just the one woman, isn't it?
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I've just heard.
Yeah.
See, she agrees. KT agrees with me.
What have you heard?
Balls are gross.
Balls are gross.
Yeah, they just
That's
hang there.
one. That's one person in the chat room.
It's the only female, though, to be fair. There's one
Well,
girls
that we're
around.
aware of.
You
That's
know?
true.
I'm sure there's a couple of gay gentlemen in our chat room who have had balls dragged over their face.
I don't think Jevon's in.
Hey, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Ooh, Dean's on fire tonight. I'm not even going to repeat that comment.
Dean's on fire tonight.
Yeah.
See, this is why you don't monitor the chat room. I monitor the chat room because I can watch it without having to say out loud everything that's said in there.
Yes, sir. And Steve can't help but not. Steve goes to it. Steve just see what Steve likes to do with the chat room is he likes to justify his own comments.
Right.
He likes to be able to go,
see,
yeah, the chat room agrees with me. This person agrees with me.
That's because
other than that,
right.
he could give a fuck what you guys think.
That's not true.
I'll tell you that right now. Steve Alcorn is fake news.
I am not fake news.
Fucking fake news, Steve.
I care what everybody thinks.
You are so full of shit. You care what people. Yeah, exactly, exactly. You fucking ass.
Oh, I messed up there. I whacked the table.
Yeah,
made a loud noise. Let's get to the topic.
Time slips. Hooah!
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're done.
Are we really doing Scent of the Woman references as well now?
No, it's not necessarily a Son of a Woman reference. It's just Pacino, but
Pacino. Yeah. Okay. So, time slips.
Now I take it you haven't seen the fucking Jim Jeffries stand-up special yet. That was filmed in your fucking country, by the way.
I'm not a Jim Jeffries fan.
Why not?
I don't find him funny.
I don't even know who he is.
you and I cannot be friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I will be looking for a new producer for the Fortean slip.
Hot Diggity Dog's been trying to get on the show for a while.
Qualities I'm looking for in an individual are that you're obstinate. You argue with me all the fucking time.
No.
I do not.
Anyway, in it, fucking Jeffries does this impression of Pacino, which is fucking. It's kind of funny. I'm a 5. You're a 5. Anywho, continue.
Me. Okay.
Ooh. Wait, I did my research for the show.
You did.
Whoa!
Well, I'm sorry, but you have the floor. Go.
Whoa!
All right. I watched some YouTube. And
wait! Actually watched it?
Yeah, it was a video, sure.
Oh, okay.
Give him the floor. Let him start.
The thing about time slips is,
yeah,
they keep on slipping into the future.
Wow, Steve.
Well, you said to watch time slips, and I watched a video about it, and that's what they told me.
Did you? Was the author Steve Miller?
I don't remember who did it, but I remember hearing that the slipping into the future is what goes on with time.
Yeah,
I need my head examined. I actually thought it tried.
Was it? Were you gonna fly like an eagle, Steve?
Fly like an eagle. Yes.
Till you're free.
To the future. Yeah.
Fly like an eagle. Let your spirit carry you.
Wait, we might get some copyright complaints here if we keep going. So
yeah.
Hey, I thought it was funny.
Did you?
No. Go on, Richard. Maybe
sitting here thinking, oh wow, Steve's actually come through for us one time.
No, Steve didn't, and I forgot to grab a fucking drink before the show. So, Richard, at least explain to the fine audience what a time slip is.
Well, a time slip is when you've moved forwards or backwards in time, or even into another dimension. Now, with all things of this nature, there's no actual concrete evidence. There are a bunch of stories that me and Chris and I thought maybe Steve might try to read. Apparently not.
I
But
know
yes,
you.
that is
Go
a time
ahead.
slip.
Time keeps on slipping.
See, I like that better. There's no eagles in any of your stories, is there?
In my stories?
No, in Richard's stories.
No, not that I've seen.
All right. See, the song is cooler then.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Richard. You're the one who's done the research.
Okay, so we'll start
Actually,
with...
Steve, I did research too.
Ooh. Okay.
See, Richard and I conferred for the show.
Okay.
Unlike you, who I can get like, yeah, that works. See you Sunday.
Oh, when you said time slips is the topic, I said, okay.
Yes, that's Steve's input.
I fell back asleep and took a nap.
Yeah, which is what you do the minute I hit the go live button. So which one you starting with, Richard?
I was going to start with Baby Monitor Time Warp.
Baby monitor time warp. Have that.
Baby monitor time warp?
That's what it's called.
Okay.
Baby Monitor Time Warp. And it's written in the first person, so I'm just going to go ahead and, get into character.
All right.
Whoa, you have to get into character?
Who is the character? Is it the baby?
Christopher Walken? Hello?
I can't do Christopher Walken as well as you can.
But you can do a
Richard.
southern accent pretty well.
The baby has a monitor.
I can't do a southern accent continuously. I can only do certain phrases.
Short periods at a time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so let's start this off. So, as usual, the long work day was coming to an end, and I was dutifully putting the last load of laundered clothes away into our bedroom when I heard a ruckus on the baby monitor just a few feet away from me. I thought it strange when I knew my husband and toddler were both in the living room quietly watching TV, as my 2-year-old drifted silently off to sleep, curled in my husband's lap, as he caught the evening news. The bedroom door was straight in front of me, and I could see all the way down the hall to my husband and son in the lazy boy chair as this ruckus over the monitor continued. It didn't take long for me to realize the sounds were very familiar. Earlier in the day, I was in my toddler's bedroom pulling a load of folded clothes into the drawers and picked up some stray toys and books that weren't being played with at the time. As I was doing so, I was telling my son about the history of Jack and the Beanstalk for the first time. Now I stood in disbelief as I heard the drawers being pulled open and shut and the rustling of the toys and books being put into the proper places. But I nearly fainted when I heard my son's voice over the monitor. I kept looking back and forth at my husband and now sleeping son in the chair in the living room and the monitor sitting on my dresser that was literally replaying the specific events from earlier in the day.
Wow.
It's quite a mundane.
Is that it?
Slip. I mean, it's
That's
yay.
So literally, it was a time slip. She heard shit from earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Toys being put away.
That's it. That was the slip.
It's not even a very impressive slip.
Much like the Fortean slip, it's not a very impressive slip.
No, I mean, if you're going to make up, I mean, maybe it's true because it's very mundane, everyday stuff.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to make up a story, you're sure as hell going to make up a better one than that.
Well, that's the thing. Like when we were talking about doing this show, it's stories. There's no actual evidence of any time slippage in either direction.
How would you measure it anyway?
Right. They're all stories.
Right. But that one's rather, ordinary.
Well, what was she supposed to do? Travel backwards to 1973 in her house or something?
Well, that would be more impressive.
Well,
It's a better
No,
story.
I'm saying that it makes more sense that her story has more legitimacy because it's so mundane. It's just an everyday event, putting toys away and a baby crying. It wasn't like she tried to make some shit up, like she saw her dead grandpa or something. You know,
that would be a ghost sighting, though, wouldn't it?
I
Not.
don't know. I mean, maybe she heard her dead grandpa over the baby monitor. I don't know. Whatever. She didn't try to make up some fancy story. It's just mundane, everyday shit.
Yeah.
I believe her. Or him. No. Well, it could be a gay couple.
Yeah. Could it?
John
Could be.
says that someone recorded it and sent it back later on the monitor with the same frequency.
It is a possibility. But
That would
why?
be, yeah, well, I might do that. It seems funny.
It does seem kind of funny. I used to send anonymous faxes to the church I used to go to just for fun.
Oh, look at
They were
you.
mundane. I mean, they weren't nothing like mean or anything. When people
it's like Satan's coming for you. You're all gonna burn in hell.
From the desk of Lucifer.
That would have been funnier.
Yeah, everything's legal headed. Hell.
Hell Inc.
It's hilarious. So is it my turn now? Do I have to do one now?
Yeah, you've got to
Is
do
that the
one
way
now.
it works? All right. I'm saving the Liverpool one for you. So the one that I have is short. The first one, it's Sir Victor Goddard's Flight to the Future. British Royal Air Force Marshal Sir Victor Goddard had a strange experience in 1935. Flying over an abandoned airfield near Edinburgh, Scotland, he saw it was overgrown around the decrepit hangars and cows were grazing over it. He encountered a storm that seemed to pull him back toward the airfield. The storm rapidly cleared, and as he passed over the same airfield, it now looked new with planes painted yellow, which was unusual, a monoplane he didn't recognize as being part of the Air Force fleet, and workers dressed in blue overalls, which was also unusual, as the workers were usually dressed in brown. All of these strange things made sense years later when the Air Force started painting planes yellow, acquired planes of the model Goddard had seen, and the mechanics started wearing blue overalls. The story is recounted by Stephen Wagner, a paranormal phenomena researcher and author, in an About.com article. And that is from the epochtimes.com.
Well, that's a proper time slip right there.
Yeah, but like I said before, they're all just kind of stories. I mean, if they're accounted for.
Was this gentleman's story documented at the time the story allegedly happened or afterwards? And like, are we recounting it now? But
I don't know. See, that's the thing. You don't know.
Because it becomes way more impressive if
that was documented that he came back and this is what I saw.
Yeah.
And it's all documented.
Or is he just remembering it after he actually saw the events after they happened again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a big difference there.
So,
is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Okay,
you have one?
Yes, I do. The phone rang. I answered it, and no one was there.
You are a cowboy hat wearing.
You are a fucking piece of shit.
This is from KT Evans in the chat room.
No, this is Steve.
I'm doing my research.
Fake news, Steve. This is you people fucking feed into his bullshit. Overinflate his fucking ego.
But I believe somebody more like KT who we actually kind of know a little bit, and she's been here a long time, and she's got a story, and I want to read it.
I believe you're a jackass.
Well, I am a jackass, but anyway, she heard a recording of herself after she had answered the phone. It rang again, and she heard it again, the exact same thing, and she could hear her own bird and everything. Well, that's kind of freaky. I don't know if that's a time slip or a scary
Hello, Katie.
Story. I'm not sure. Do you have a stalker, KT?
Phil used to stalk her when he was in the chat room.
Was it Phil?
Was it?
I don't know.
Was it
That
an
was
old man standing really close that reeked of booze?
she was 12, so it wasn't Phil. Well, I hope it wasn't
He was
Phil.
a jolly old man with a big red nose.
Yeah.
No, but that I mean, it's happened to somebody that we know, so it lends a little more credibility too. We believe KT would not lie to us.
Okay.
Yeah, we're totally Team KT over it.
Sure.
All right, next. There's my
All right.
story. There's my research.
Wow.
Well, it's better than normal, I suppose. So, if anyone else that wants to write something in the chat room for Steve to read out, just don't. Just don't.
Well, I was trying to be part of the show.
Well, no, wait a minute. No. So, no, because I would encourage people. I would encourage people to write out stories in which Steve has to say, "I love big cock,"
unlike
over
reading the
and
news,
over, so that we can have those sound clips for later on.
Unlike reading the news, I pre-read the chat comments.
Oh.
So it isn't gonna work. Good luck.
Yeah.
I do have I have my own time system.
I think you should be a fucking trained monkey. Do what you're told.
Well, that doesn't help. That doesn't work.
He'd lose his raw Steve Alcornness if that happened.
Hey. I think it's your turn for a story there, Richard.
Right on. So, let's go to Liverpool, England. Ooh, that seems familiar. Local, yeah. So, there is a street in Liverpool called Bold Street, which is apparently famous for not one, but multiple time-slip stories. For example, in 2006, a thief was running away from a security guard in the Bold Street area when he looked behind him and saw the security guard was no longer on his tail. Relief turned to bewilderment. He saw the cars were of an older style and people were dressed differently. He looked at a newspaper and found it dated 1967. He hurried up Renee Street and found himself, thankfully, back in 2006. Though he could still see into the past by looking down the street. Upon investigation, the publication found that the details the thief gave were correct regarding where various shops and landmarks were located in 1967. The security guard also said that the young man seemed to vanish as he was chasing him. In another case, a woman said she'd entered a shop she didn't recognize, thinking it had just opened. The prices were all quite low, so she filled her arms with goods and brought them to the cash register, but the cashier and manager looked puzzled by her credit card and declined it. She didn't have enough cash with her, so she left. When she told her mother about the store later, her mother said that the store had closed long ago and the bank was now in its place. Another man reported a collision in the Bold Street area with a phantom tram from 20 years earlier. Two people reported seeing in 1971 an eccentric inventor testing out a contraption on the River Mersey, a well-documented event that took place in 1821.
Well.
So the guy goes back to 1967. He's a thief, right?
Yeah.
How come they haven't done an Ancient Aliens episode about this street yet? Because it has to be tied into Ancient Aliens.
Well, I want to know why. If I went back to 1967 today, I'd be grabbing shit to try to sell on eBay.
Maybe these time slip areas are a kind of portal.
Mint and box toys and shit.
That is funny, Chris, but I'd like to get back to this moment with Steve. You're telling me that if you had the ability to travel through time, you'd get stuff to sell on eBay in the present time.
Fuck yeah, I'd be rich, man.
That would be your only thing to do in time.
Well, yeah,
that's his fucking Biff Tannen moment.
Yeah, it would be. I would be Biff Tannen. You're right.
Someday, Steve, a kid or a crazy, wild-eyed scientist, is going to ask you about that stuff.
Well, I'm just saying, doesn't it make sense to capitalize on time travel monetarily?
Well, you're not thinking about the responsibilities of time travel.
Or I'm not going to gamble on anything. I just want to grab shit and bring it back, and have a nice, comfortable lifestyle. That's it.
If you go back in time, you have to stop disasters from happening.
No.
You've got to. If you know about that 9/11 is going to happen.
No. Because if I do that, then I could alter history altogether, and I might not be born or some shit. I don't want to do that.
Well, you'd already be born after.
You wouldn't be
before.
born if you prevented 9/11.
I didn't mean 9/11. I meant.
Did you just really say that?
Assassination.
Oh, God.
The Kennedy assassination or something. How do I know that something happened that day that affected my birth or yours? Well, maybe that would be a good thing.
Wow,
that was just cold, man.
Who do you know I was referring to? How do you know I was referring to you?
What are you going to start talking about eugenics next? Or what's going on?
No, I'm just saying.
Pure Steve race.
Fucking yeah, it's the fucking new Nazi Steve.
Millions of cowboy hat wearing spam eating motherfuckers.
How did you get that from my comments? I'm just saying.
Too bad I don't have fucking Fred Dunn still doing artwork, because I would so have him do the fucking Steve version of the KKK.
Yeah, and I would not be happy about that.
I could take a crack at it if you wanted.
Who says that the time traveler's responsibility is to change things?
Because you know about this stuff.
No, I think the problem is, Richard, that the time traveler's responsibility is to just observe.
Observe and steal toys and bring them back and sell them on eBay.
See, that's what he doesn't even want to observe, Chris. He just wants to take stuff.
Yeah, no, I know what he wants to do, and he's a jackass. That's why I say
he had to go and say
jackass.
He had to go and say that it was my responsibility to stop 9/11 or some shit.
Well, it would be.
First of all, how in fuck's name is anybody like me going to be able to stop 9/11 in the first place?
I don't know,
whether I traveled time or not.
You've got to try.
All I would be considered would be some nutcase that's trying to make veiled threats to the government or some shit. That's it. They wouldn't take me seriously.
Yeah, but then you'd be like, well, you could try.
And I sure as hell ain't gonna, like the Kennedy assassination, I can see. I could go up there and knock fucking Lee Harvey or whoever out at the window, and
But what about the other gunman?
Well, maybe I could finally find the truth.
Maybe.
But
maybe you're the one who shot Kennedy.
It could be, and I just don't know it yet because I haven't had the time slip yet.
You went back in time and you were like, "Oh, better see what's going on about that," and through a hilarious sequence of events, you ended up shooting him.
There is kind of a book similar to that, Stephen King novel, but anyway, it's not a
There's
hilarious
an episode of Red Dwarf where they say Kennedy shot Kennedy. That was pretty funny.
Wouldn't it be funny though? What if Kennedy had a time slip?
Yeah.
And realized that his death saved millions of people from something, and so he went and shot himself. Yeah.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Now this is getting deep, guys. I think we're really exploring the avenues of time.
If you found that your death saved millions of people from death, for example, because of some unfortunate event, but you had to go back and kill yourself.
Out of danger.
Why would I?
The needs of the
Why would I
many.
care if they all died?
Because it affected maybe your family members or something, or your country, or your queen.
Again.
Wow.
It's not something I'm going to think about,
But I'm just saying.
Me or them might as well be them.
Okay.
So, Steve would go back in time and buy shit to sell in the future.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I wouldn't buy it. I mean, what are they going to? How are they going to catch me?
That's right.
How are they going to catch me? I'm a time traveler.
I would try to prevent disasters.
Time travel would make Steve a criminal.
Yes.
He would immediately start stealing from people.
The question is, Chris, what would you do?
What would I do? What? If
With
I had
time
access
travel.
to time travel?
Yeah.
Oh, let's not even go through that. See, I'm a I don't think I'd do anything with it. to be honest with you.
You wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to go back.
we all want to, wax fantastic about going back and fixing everything that went on in our lives, but you just add a different set of problems along the way. I mean,
Obviously, you'll never fix anything. You'll fix
right.
something, but you'll break
And
something.
if the things that had happened in my life hadn't happened, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. I wouldn't be able to express myself in the way that I do, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't have the understandings that I have, and or the misunderstandings.
And how do we know? How do we know
Right.
that somebody hasn't already gone back and changed everything?
Yeah,
We
I
don't
don't,
know.
I just don't, I don't know that it's worthwhile to go back and change anything, because this is who we are.
Mhm.
This is the life we've lived. I reference often, I don't know how many times I have on the show, but and a lot of people don't, or generally don't like the reference, but Aleister Crowley said that your life is like a river, and you can never change the flow of the fucking river. You just don't have the ability as one person to affect that river to any great degree. But if you can understand how it flows, and you can put yourself in better positions as you're going down the river, that's the key. But I just don't know that going back and changing anything is worthwhile. Any of your time travel movies or stories, they all come with that caveat of, well, yeah, but you can't really change anything, or you wind up trying to put things back, or whatever. The message is that everything just needs to be left alone. I just don't. I don't know that I'd do anything at this point. And we always do. We wax fantastic. Like I always used to say I'd go back to my fucking 16, 17-year-old self and fucking smack him across the face and go, get away from her.
And what would your 16 or 17-year-old self say to your current self? Fuck you.
I don't know. I can't remember what he was like.
He
It's the dream, isn't it? If knowing then what you know now.
Right.
But you then was a twerp and wouldn't listen. So.
Right. I was a fucking idiot. But, would I have listened? I don't know. I don't know.
You would. Some strange dude from the future comes up to you. Well, you don't know he's from the future. What are you going to do? Identify yourself
and looks just like you. He looks just like you, except he's
I'm you in the future.
Gray.
Yeah. Hey, I'm you in the future. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that bullshit. Get away from me, you fucking creep. That kind of thing.
Listen, you fucking pedo, get out of here.
That's exactly what you would think.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely.
Remember that time you masturbated under, and nobody knew? That's how
you're trying to tell fucking all this creepy shit.
Because there's only a few things a young boy would know that somebody else wouldn't know, and that's one of them. So you try to impress upon your younger self that these things, and he's just going to think you're a fucking pedophile. That's it. And you're not going to change shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then when you grow up, you're like, oh, that was me. Huh. Fuck. So I wonder, do we have any more time slip stories, or?
I do. I mean,
yeah, we got loads.
Yeah, loads. Which one am I going with here, Richard? Let's see. Let's go with the White Building of Oklahoma. Ooh. We need Matt and App for that.
Oklahoma.
In 1971. This is from paranormalglobe.com. In 1971, a white Ford pickup pulled up to cattle pasture near Ponca City, Oklahoma, and it stopped at the gate. The pickup driver and passengers, Carl, Mark, and Gordon, all worked for a cattle feed distributor. They were sent to the remote area to pick up a feeder. What they saw will forever live in their memories. We opened the gate, which was barbed wire with no lock, and entered, Carl said. We went on the property, which was covered with grass up to and over the hood of the truck. We realized the tank was almost half full and too heavy to load, Carl said. We decided to leave and drove around the red barn, and we saw a large 2-story white house with no lights in front of us. They returned to the cattle feed company, and their boss told, I assume it's supposed to be them, to drain the tank, and they could pick it up the next day. We went to the location to retrieve the tank the next night, Carl said. This time we decided to go through the old white big house on the hill and brought our shotguns. They drove the pickup onto the land using the same path through the long grass they made the day before and loaded the tank onto the truck. They headed off towards the house, but it was no longer there, Carl said. We walked up the hill where it stood, and there were no signs of demolition, no foundation, nothing at all. What we all seemed to witness the night before was no longer there. We have talked to each other over the years, but none of us can begin to explain this vision. The White Building of Oklahoma.
Dun dun dun.
Maybe they just were mistaken and they were in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Didn't you say it was night?
I think so.
I believe it was nighttime when they went back to retrieve the tank.
Yeah, I think so.
And why did they bring their shotguns?
I don't know.
That just doesn't.
Know, Steve, I don't understand the shit.
That doesn't make sense for the story. Yeah, we decided to go back, and this time we're going to take our shotguns.
That's right.
For what reason? What were they shooting at?
Was it a time slip? Or did
know.
they just see a house that wasn't there?
Dun, dun,
I'm
dun.
not buying that one.
That's the one you're not buying.
No, because the story doesn't make sense.
Well, I've got a doozy for you.
Ooh.
You wanted excitement. Here you go, Steve. The Future City.
The future.
There you are. It all began when Rick and I were going to a friend's house last September.
In
We're
the
driving-
future.
we were driving Rick's beat-up old truck, and the drive went smoothly for the first 45 minutes. Suddenly, the
We
truck's
were
engine...
in the future.
Prick. Suddenly, remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is his show, okay? Suddenly, the truck's engines died, and Rick and I were stranded on a deserted highway in the middle of the night. We were surrounded on both sides of the road by cornfields that stretched into the distance. Rick began a desperate effort to restart the truck and fix the broken engine. He tried to fix the truck in vain, but nothing seemed to work. Rick finally gave up, and we decided to walk to the nearest town about 2 miles away to find a payphone to call our friend. We walked for what seemed like hours, and the town was nowhere in sight. However, just when desperation was about to grip us, we saw a light, a glorious bright light shining over the steep hill ahead of us. We ran up the steep hill that blocked us from the light, and we were flabbergasted by what we saw. Just over the hill.
What the fuck?
Just over the hill, Rick and I saw what could only be described as a futuristic city with light streaming out of every window of the massive metallic towers. In the middle of the futuristic city was a huge silver dome. I stared at the city, stunned, until Rick elbowed me, which pulled me out of my trance, and he pointed to the sky. Hovering above the city were hundreds of hovercraft. One flew towards us with amazing speed. Rick and I were so scared that we took off running back to the broken down trunk. There you are, Steve. The city of the future.
The future.
Yeah, I'm not buying that one either.
You're not buying the superistic city.
They said it so far in advance that, they would never, nobody would ever be, oh, wait a second, that did happen. See the flying hovercraft? We're never going to have flying cars.
How do you know, Steve?
That's untrue, because the flying car was invented in the 60s.
We're not going to have cities full of flying cars.
Why not?
If we were, we'd have had them already.
Why not, Steve?
Because we were promised.
Why not?
And the promise was not
Hey, how do you know that congestion isn't going to get so bad that eventually they're going to start creating public transportation in the sky?
They won't,
How do you know that?
because
How do you know?
they won't.
How do you
Because
know? How do you know?
well, let me
We
answer the
already
question.
have, dude. We already have airplanes that go from city to city. Why is it outside of the realm of thought to think that eventually they might have little like drone type things that will like pick people up and take them around in cities?
Because airplanes are staffed by people with training and experience. If you
I understand where Chris is coming at, though. That they would be trained, staffed people too, because it would be little hovercrafts that pick people.
Right.
Up. That I can see. You're right, because the government can tax that shit. But right now we have roads and infrastructure and stuff. They're not going to allow that to go away, because that's where they make money.
No, because and they'll still be there.
Right.
air tax.
How are you gonna build a road in the air?
You don't have
How
to.
are you gonna fleece? How are you gonna fleece the people for money for air roads? You're not.
You'd have flying lights that would mark the roads.
Maybe.
And you'd have flying police cars hidden behind billboards.
That's right. It
Maybe.
fucks shit up. Come on, Steve.
We're ahead of you on this one, mate.
Yeah,
We're all over this. Yeah.
All right. Next.
Wow.
Wow. Well, maybe if you'd done some research, Steve, you
I
could
did
tell
do
the
some
next
research.
one.
I've had a time slip of my own, but you guys don't want to hear about it, so.
Did another fucking frog jump across the room?
Did it happen twice?
It did, actually.
And it was the same frog.
They call that a glitch in the
No, it
Matrix.
wasn't a frog.
Steve.
It was a time slip, and it had nothing to do with frogs.
All right, tell your story, but I swear to God, if you say, oh, every minute's a time slip because I'm going into the future, I will fly to Oklahoma and I will punch you in the face.
Oklahoma, you'd be in the wrong
Ohio, wherever he's living.
He's so angry. He can't even.
I can see it coming. I can see it coming. Go.
Well, Richard, every minute is a time slip.
Right, that's it.
I
You're
wasn't
going
even
on the
thinking
list.
that.
You're going on the
even
list of
thinking that
people.
until you brought it up, but it does make sense. Every minute is a time slip. No, my current wife and I, and she recalls the same story, so it's not. I'm not making this shit up. When we were younger, we were dating when we were kids, and we went to this playground, which was at the school, which is by the church. We skipped church. Don't tell anybody. And years later, it happened again.
And Steve said, "You stay here. I'm gonna go play with this other boy's 14-inch gun."
No, or not years later. What happened was we were there, and we both swore that we had done this exact thing before. So it was like the same exact thing, the same sequence of events, the same everything had happened.
Deja vu is your time slip story.
It's a time. That's a time slip.
Is deja vu the same as time slip, though? I mean, because you remember the events as they were, and then they happen again. Huh? No answer?
Deja vu is a totally different phenomenon.
How so?
Oh, shit. No, you're right. I suppose it could be argued that it's the same thing happening to you twice.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you've experienced it, but you don't recall the experience until you're in the new experience. So is it a time slip or is it something totally different? I don't know. Yeah. But we both had the same feeling that this has happened. And we could tell each other what's going to happen next. And, in our minds, we didn't say it out loud because it was weird at the time it was going on. But after the event, we discussed it. And it's like, I knew this, and this. And I said, so did I. I mean, it just went exactly the same way that it had happened sometime in the past that we don't recall.
I'm going to message her and ask her.
Don't you dare.
Wow.
You guys are not allowed to associate with my wife.
I'm typing it up right now. the
Wow.
message. I'm just going to send it straight to her. Be like,
She'll deny it.
yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it?
Mm. I bet your mine's better, Steve.
But I've had a lot of deja vu type experiences. So are they time slips, or is it a totally different phenomenon? What do we think?
Deja vu's a mind thing, isn't it? It happens in your brain.
But maybe not.
What if you actually see something before it happens?
I've had that happen too.
Well, they reckon it's like part of your brain sees it, and then the rest of the brain catches up.
But what if it's like years and years and years and years and years later?
Well, that's clairvoyance, which is different from deja vu.
But is that a time slip?
Huh.
If you're seeing the future while you're in the past.
I think it would be a time slip if you are part of that. If you're experiencing that exact
If
event.
you're experiencing your own thing.
But you actually have to be experiencing it in both times.
Correct.
Yeah.
That'd be a time slip. Yeah.
To be
Otherwise,
clairvoyant,
it's just
you're just
normal
observing.
clairvoyance.
Yeah, you're observing from the outside.
Because when I was a kid, when I was a little kid, like I'm talking like 4 or 5, probably like more like 3, 4. There used to be all those commercials on TV that were like say no to drugs and this is your brain on drugs.
My favorites. I love those commercials.
Right. There's that whole big anti-drug campaign of the late 70s and the early 80s. So at the house that I grew up in, our kitchen and our living room were so tightly packed, and we had like a little bar thing that stuck out. But it had an upper and lower section, so you could sit at the bar. And it has no bearing on the story, but that's where I was. Or one of the particular times that I can remember seeing this thing. But I always used to have this weird vision that I would hear this thing, and the only thing I could equate it to in my brain at the time, and I don't know why, but it sounded like somebody was saying Ricky's the one over and 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 over again. And it was just layered upon layered upon layered over itself. So it just echoed and echoed. And that's all I would hear. And I always would know when I heard that I was going to have this strange little fucking vision. And in my head, I would see that it would flip like a film. And then it would come into focus, and I always equated it to like an anti-drug commercial, because it would be 2 kids, teenagers, sitting on a bench, and one turns to the other one and goes, "Hey, do you want to hit?" And boom, it's done. So I'd have this vision all the time. Flash forward to me being like a 13-year-old kid. And I got into huffing gas with a couple of friends.
Like we all do.
Yeah, why not?
We've all been down that rabbit hole.
It's a deep high. And I'm sitting out in the ball field with him, with a friend of mine, Mark, on a bench. We're doing gas back and forth. And anybody who knows anything about huffing gas, it causes you to have this echoey sound or feeling in your head. And I kind of blacked out a little bit. And I heard that whole thing that I would hear when I was a kid, that Ricky's the one, but it was like layered upon it, just this echo. And as I came to, it looked like a film flipping. And then I turned, and Mark looked at me and handed me the fucking bottle, and he's like, "Hey, you want a hit?" And I lost it. I fucking freaked out. I jumped up, ran into the woods, and ran straight into a fucking tree.
Who the fuck is Ricky?
I don't know. It's just what it sounded like in my head.
Huh.
So
I've had experiences like that. I mean, not that dramatic.
just seeing, but the whole thing unfolding like that in front of me, it freaked me out so bad that I freaked out.
It would freak you out.
I lost my shit. I ran. I didn't know what else to do. I ran, like right into the woods.
Well, here's the thing. Did it ever happen again after that?
No.
No, the Ricky's the one, the echoing in the head.
Nothing. No.
Interesting. I don't know. Would that be a time slip?
Don't know. I saw it for a brief period of time in my very early youth. You know, there was a brief period of time where I would have these visions and see it. And then later on it happened.
Huh. That's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it, I don't know.
Richard's the one.
It's unusual. Could have been, anything, but it's strange.
It's like deja vu all over again.
Yeah. No, it fucked me up for a while.
I would think it would. Anytime. I mean, because like I said, even my little story wasn't nothing crazy and weird, but it's something that you remember because it was so out of the ordinary.
Well, I'm also a rational human fucking being.
Yeah, but it's something so out of the ordinary from your everyday shit that it will have it, no matter how minor the time slip or deja vu experience was, as long as it felt real, which yours and mine were real, they happened, it's going to fuck you up. I mean, it's going to fuck something in your brain up. Think, what the hell? What your extent is probably a little more fucked up than mine, obviously, but yeah.
It was, it like I said, it freaked me out so bad.
Ferret Bueller. I like that. Sorry.
No, you're not. No.
We've spoken about the chat room.
No, don't. No. You're not fucking sorry.
But that's great. I like that idea, and I think you should do it.
You just wrecked the whole flow of the show.
But Dean said Ferret Bueller.
For your fucking horse shit.
You're a genius, Dean. I love it.
What bearing did that have on what we were talking about, Steve?
I don't know. Why is it in the chat room?
No. What exactly? Why are you in the fucking chat room?
Because Dean and Richard were having a fight over parrots and ferrets, and
yeah. So let them have their fucking fight over parrots and ferrets.
It's happening during this show. I figured it was my duty to make an announcement of some sort.
You fucking gross. Go run into Chris. Oh, Richard was doing this. Richard was. What happens to Tattletale Steve?
Oh my fucking god.
Ferret Bueller.
I give up. I give the fuck up. You guys run the show.
To make it more dramatic, Chris, you should just leave the chat room or no, don't do it because then it shuts us off.
No.
We have 10 minutes if you leave. That's it. Time slips.
Time slips. Go. I'm done.
Okay. I will click off the chat room. Hear the click? Oh, it did go away. I was going to fake it. Are we really supposed to carry the show?
Yeah, how about?
All right. I don't have anything. Richard, do you have anything?
I have many more stories relating
All
to
right.
time slips.
Next story.
We have instant replay. This happened when I was about 8. My friend and I were sitting on his yard while some kids rode their bikes down a downhill driveway. A car came down the road and stopped at a house. A kid got out and ran inside, making noises that kids around his age make. Then a girl rode a bike down the driveway. A couple of minutes after this happened, the same car went down the road, stopped at the house, and the same kid got out of the car and ran inside screaming the exact same things he had been saying. Then the girl went down on the hill on her bike again. I looked over to my friend and he said he had no idea what had just happened.
Maybe they were twins. Two sets of twins.
2 sets of twins
Yes.
in 2 identical cars.
Yeah, well, families often buy 2 of the same thing.
That's your theory, is it?
No, it is not my theory. It's a bad theory. That's a good time slip.
That one was good.
But why? I mean, see, the ones that are mundane like that, where it's not really that impressive. Yeah, I saw the same person twice. It's not that impressive as a story. Kind of make more, like I said in that first story, lend more credibility to the whole phenomena.
Yeah, because it's so unbelievable.
Right. Because who would make up that? I mean, why would you make that up? It doesn't make any sense. You would make up something more interesting.
Something really exciting like the Future City or witnessing Gettysburg or something.
Right. The Future City, probably a made-up story.
You can
be seeing the same kid twice, and that's not so strange. I mean, it's strange, but it's not impressive as a story on its own.
Rather dull as a story.
Mm-hmm. Dull.
And that adds credence in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're gonna make up a story. People tend to embellish things to make it sound better than it really is.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We suck at doing this show by ourselves. Should we beg Chris to come back?
It's his turn to tell a story.
Well, we could just go silent for a second and see if he does.
Dead air. That's not a solution. That's the opposite of making the show work. Okay. Moving on. The house that wasn't there.
We just did the house that wasn't there in Oklahoma.
That was the White House.
Oh, this is a different color house?
Yeah, this is in Australia.
Oh, okay, well, go for it.
So it starts with, I swear this is a true story. So right away, they're putting the stakes up pretty high. My husband was carting wheat in the summer of 1994. He was outside Molong in New South Wales, Australia, and drove past a for sale sign on a farm gate along with the agent's details. Our 12-year-old son was with him. On the return journey, they stopped, climbed through the fence, and walked up to the circle-shaped drive to have a closer look at the old house. He said he could see through the window and found the old house old and abandoned. On his return home a few days later, we rang up the agent and asked for further details about the property, as we were interested in purchasing it. The agent had no idea what we were talking about and insisted that he had no properties for sale on that road. A week later, my husband and I drove to Molong to have a look at the farm ourselves. We drove up and down the whole road until we were almost to the next town. All that he could recognize was a water tank on the hill, a creek, and some trees where the house used to be. There was no gate, drive, real estate sign, or a house. So, driving along the road, see a house, and then it turns out the house wasn't there.
Did your fan just kick back on?
No.
Maybe that's Chris's return. No.
Okay.
Well, again, how do they know they were in the right location? Maybe they were on the next road over.
Well, it's Australia. I mean, there's only basically one road usually in the outback.
One road in the entire outback.
Pretty much. I mean, it's pretty. There's a lot of land out there that's completely uninhabited, and to call it a road is pretty. It's usually just a dusty indentation in the ground.
Pretty generous to call it a road.
Yeah, generous.
Okay.
More like a cart track.
Huh.
Has he really gone?
No, he's still here. He's
Okay.
he's much better at pulling the stunt than I am. Because remember, I tried to do this stunt a couple weeks ago and I sucked at it. I couldn't stay gone long. He's better at it.
He's very good at it.
Yeah, much better than I am. He wants to see us flounder. That's what he wants to do.
We're certainly floundering.
Next story, Richard.
Next story. Okay.
You said you got a lot.
I do have a lot. We'll move on to London time slip. Heading back to England, wherever that is. I live in London, and it was October 1969. And I was walking home late one Saturday night. I had to walk through an underpass which was under the busy North Circular Road. It was cold and late, and I was surprised to see about 5 kids down there collecting pennies for the guy, which is a tradition around November 5th over here. And it was firework night. So these kids should not have been out that late, seeing as the oldest was a girl aged about 12 years old and the others younger. What shocked me were their clothes. Their attire made me think that they had come straight out of the 1920s and 1930s. Their speech could not have been taken straight from a Charles Dickens novel. I heard one young boy say, "That other gent gave me a florin." At his age, there was no way he could have known what a florin was, an old English coin for then 2 shillings. Yeah, I keep forgetting that we had different currency as little as 50 years ago.
A florint?
Florin.
A florin. And that was 2 shillings.
Yep.
Huh.
And it was 10 shillings to the pound. And we had guineas and everything. It was really confusing. Not that I remember it, but from what I've read about it. And this was the late 1960s, and kids certainly didn't use words like gent anymore. They said geezer or bloke. The girl approached me saying, "Evening, sir. Penny for the guy, please, sir." Her politeness shocked me, but I said I hadn't any money. She slid her arm through mine, and she ran her hand down my sleeve, saying, "Yes, you do, sir. You are a fine gent. You do have money." And I assured her I hadn't, and I expected a rude mouthful. But she replied, "Okay, thank you, sir. You have a good evening, sir." I knew I had to give these kids something, so I pulled a silver sixpence from my pocket and called her. I threw the coin, and she gave me a thank you and a beaming smile, and I walked off into the night. This experience bugged me bad. Who were those kids from the past? I asked local people if any kids were killed there during World War II, but no one remembered. Did I meet ghosts, kids from the past? I guess I will never know. That's a good question, because that could be ghosts and not a time slip.
Well, there's physical involvement. She touched him. So I guess you can feel ghosts from time to time, but generally you would think, I don't know. That one sounds like a time slip to me.
You're going time slip with that?
Yeah, time slip, because, yeah.
Authentic time slip.
Well, maybe not authentic. I mean, it's a fantastical story. But there was more than just an interaction with these, just seeing these children. He interacted with these children in a normal manner. They were asking him for a penny or whatever, and he was giving it to them. That kind of thing. And They took the physical object with them, apparently.
Back to the past. I don't know if you could use 1960s money in the 1930s.
Well, true, but I'm sure the coinage similar. Look, a silver coin is a silver coin, no matter what time. Huh? I think Chris might be coming back, or he's waking up. Wake up, Chris. We can't carry on without you. We're sorry. No, didn't work. The show's been going on for an hour. Should I read the news? I don't know. I'm kind of lost now.
Okay, Steve, do you have any news?
See, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work right.
Need Chris for the news.
Oh, yes, I do have some news.
What you both need is a fucking hot poker up your ass. How many fucking times I tell you shit?
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for coming back.
Oh, really?
Won't do it again.
Really? Fucking cock smoke.
Am I to read the news now? Because we've lost all direction.
Yeah, fucking read whatever the fuck you want.
The Guardian. First
why
contact.
don't you go back and read the chat?
No,
that's some more important news. No. Seriously, let's go back and read the chat. Tacos were British currency. Dean Cooper. British people did shit weird. Let's see. A friend with weed is a friend indeed.
Oh yeah, you can't argue with that.
Riveting fucking shit.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I can't, and I'm not laughing at you, Chris, because that would be wrong. I'm laughing at me.
Dean, can't you ever say something more hippie? You're way too smart. The way you look. LOL.
Am I reading the news or?
No, that's the news. That's the fucking.
He said something about ferrets. How?
It's great. It's good stuff. Because I like when my producer doesn't just martyr the chat room. He argues and fights with people in the chat room, and you read it.
Well, I mean, we're supposed to interact somewhat.
No, Chris doesn't need some fucking weed. Chris has been smoking weed the whole show.
Yeah. But that's a given.
And no, Dean, you didn't succeed in anything. My fucking bullshit fucking staff, quote unquote, can't manage to stay out of the fucking chat room.
Well, I think my defense, I'm supposed to be in the chat room.
You're supposed to monitor the chat room. And half the time when we go to you, I say, Richard, we wait fucking 5 minutes for you to respond. Because you're still fucking typing out to fucking Dean or Gary or fucking whoever.
Quietness.
Well, there's a bit of a lag.
Yeah. That's it. It's
bit of a lag. Any other time I fucking say anything to you, you're like, yeah. I
think I'm gonna.
It's good times. No, but I mean, I just we talk and everybody says, hey, we like the flow of the fucking show with how we're doing things now because we have topics and we know what we're talking about, and that's fucking great.
Yeah, the show is moving in a good direction.
It's all fucking great. And of course, I want the people in the chat room to be able to talk the way they want about the fucking show. So to JCM, go fuck yourself with, my name is Chris. I am reading this out loud. Yeah, I was. To prove a fucking point. You know, I love doing this show. Love it.
It is fun.
I love it. And we get into a fucking great flow, and then you guys get fucking lost in the fucking chat room.
That is classic.
And Steve's probably at this point is just selling on eBay.
No, Steve is like unsure of where to go from here. That's what. Seriously, I don't know. I don't know.
Go ahead and do the news, Steve.
I'm not sure I want to.
Well, like, I guess honestly, you know, I found the topic a little bit boring.
You came up with a topic, did you not?
No, it was Chubbs that came up with it.
Oh. I enjoyed the topic, actually.
It's just stories that people were telling about really mundane stuff.
Well, I think I'm off my game. Sorry.
Happens.
Yeah.
Happens. You had a time slip, Steve.
Yeah, I think I did.
It's a time slip.
And the news slipped out from under me, so I'm not reading it. It was the same old shit anyway.
Yeah, we've been
Loch
doing
Ness
it.
Monster, aliens. There was
Steve, if there's a creature in a body of water.
There was Bigfoot as well.
There was a Bigfoot story, and it was all the same
hairy
shit.
ape man in the woods.
Did we make first contact? No, we didn't make first contact. That was the point of the story. That kind of thing. Same old shit.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Would you like me to find more entertaining news stories?
No, I'm just not. I'm not up to reading them.
Well, we finally broke Chris. I mean, there's an accomplishment.
No, we didn't break Chris. Well, we broke Chris. Yeah, we broke him for sure.
Broke me. Seriously?
No, that's I don't mean break.
Dude, I sat back, closed my eyes, and just listened to you guys fucking try to reach.
We didn't do a very good job.
Do you know how
floundered.
do you know how mentally stimulating that was for me?
I'm pretty sure it was very mentally stimulating.
Yeah. You guys made my night.
We're resources. Use us.
I got to listen to the show become NPR. It was fucking great. Yes, Richard, you are correct. That is a time slip. Could you go on to the next story, please?
Yeah, we didn't do a very good job.
Next week on the Fortean slip, we will discuss aliens in the ancient past. Join us as we delve into this deep subject. It's great stuff.
Will totally join you for that one.
Yeah, would you? Yeah. No, it was entertaining getting to listen to the two of you without my input.
I suppose we have to call Chris the talent now.
No. Hey, everybody brings to the table something. Steve brings to the table Steve's wacky ass self. And you bring your half British, half used to live in America bullshit. Me, I'm just an asshole.
Yeah.
Say Steve agrees.
I was going to say drug-fueled rage, but
Wait. Drug-fueled rage. Do you know how weed works?
no, it was a joke.
I mean, come on.
Usually calms you down, does it not?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, most definitely.
Oh, wow.
Most definitely.
It's doing a great job.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I did actually click off all the news stories, so
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine.
I could find them.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Who needs them?
Nah,
We told fucking stories all night.
right.
I mean, that's all it was. It's, as much as I like time travel, or in this case, time slip stories, they're stories, and even the story that I told, my own story.
Just a story.
Yeah, there's nothing that can back that up. I didn't document when I was a little kid. Oh, this is the shit that I see. There's no record.
And there can't be in any Fortean topic. There is no record of anything because what can you document?
Yeah, it's very rare that you can have any type of documentation with that shit.
UFOs, Bigfoot, you can get some sort of documentation, but the rest of the stuff is just topic for conversation. In fact, even those topics are topics for conversation. So,
yeah, it is what it is, as they say. But I looked at the stuff that we were talking about tonight as just stories. Because there's nothing that there's nothing that anybody can say about any type of time slip story where they can say, oh, and here's the, the proof, unless, they went into the future and brought back. But even then, how do you prove that? I mean, I don't know.
You can't prove the future for sure. You couldn't prove the past either. You could have, here I brought back a newspaper. Well, fuck. Newspapers that exists.
Yeah, it could exist. You could have just gone and gotten it.
Or, I mean, it'd be very hard even to present something in today's day and age.
Here's Ben Franklin. That's Bob from the hardware store. Give me a fucking break.
It could be, because facial features are similar through all time. So, and there's only like 6 or 7 different types of faces out there. That's why people look familiar to you when you've never seen them before, because there's only a certain amount of type of facial features. So there's no real way to prove any of it. Did we lose Richard now? No, Richard's still here.
Is he?
I don't know. I'm here. I was listening.
You know what I hope you're doing, Richard?
What?
I hope that you're looking at the chat room and going, why do we pay attention to any of the shit that these people say?
I'm saying that tonight. I mean, sometimes we get questions.
No. I just want you to look at the last 10, 11 or so fucking things in the chat room and just let that sink in. That was what made it on the show.
Sometimes we get some good questions from the chat room, to be fair. I mean...
No, yes, yes, completely.
It's just
absolutely, which is why I said that the chat room needs to be monitored, not distracting.
Right on.
If I could just set up a bot with an algorithm at this point. But no, and I do want those questions on the show. And I do want interaction with the people. Albeit sometimes they drive me fucking crazy.
Well, I'm done reading anything that Dean Cooper ever writes. So
He's a fucking cancer. Hence why I got so fucking pissy about it. I mean, Dean's been a fan of the show for a long, long time. That's fucking great. Dean is cancer to a fucking show. Sorry, Dean, but you are.
We're not going to want any quasi things for the slip then.
Quasi things.
what's
Yeah,
a quad?
He used to do a quasi science minute for the Squatchers Lounge.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Jevon, we definitely don't want any of your camping tips for stupids.
Yeah, I don't need any of that shit.
By the way, quit looking at the chat as soon as I'm done. So you guys can say 14-inch cock all you want. I'm not going to see any of it.
Oh, he'll be seeing it. Just
no.
not in the chat room.
Just in a discreet men's bathroom.
Listen. I'm gonna get all serious and shit now.
Oh wow, he's gonna get all serious.
Yeah.
There
we go. I value this show and I value my friendship with Chris, and I'm not gonna throw all that shit down the drain just because I made some stupid comment about Dean Cooper and what he said in the chat room. So I'm done with the fucking chat room. I won't look again. So.
Well, no,
I take it serious, man. When you get upset, I take that personal.
Well, no, I mean, Steve, I have appreciated you being on the show for as long as we've been doing the show, and I know what your involvement is going to be. I know that every once in a while I might be able to get you to watch a documentary or a movie. Very rare nowadays that you will A, either watch it or B, finish it.
Yeah, I am a busy man.
So
and I'll be honest with you, my internet time is mostly involved in my business. It has to be, or else I make no money. And so ever since that started, I do put a lot less effort into other
endeavors,
happenings, because I need to make the money.
Yeah.
I mean, it just kind of makes sense to me. And
so, I mean, I know what your involvement is going to be, but when I have you on the show, I want your focus to be on what we're doing, because if it isn't, then the show kind of goes off the rails. And you're better, even though you fucking can say some outlandish shit, which is what I want to begin with anyway. I mean, let's fucking break down the fourth wall here. When we're talking about this shit, what I don't need is you distracted by something else, because you can't. You have a hard time staying with what we're doing.
Oh yeah, that's normal.
And trying to pay attention to something else, which you're aware of that.
Oh God, that's a daily event for me.
So
distractions.
Yeah.
Like a squirrel.
And
that kind of thing.
Am I pissed off? Like really, really pissed off? No, I'm not fucking like mad.
Fucking came across that way, man.
I mean, give me a fucking break. But it was fucking fun. I mean,
it wasn't any fun for me.
It was fun to fucking just sit back and let you guys fucking just sit in it.
We do suck.
My headphones are messed up, so I'm not hearing everything.
Your headphones are messed up?
I fixed them, I think.
Oh. So I don't give a shit. We'll get through it. But the fact of the matter is, Steve, you can't fucking keep track of fucking two things at once.
No, I can't.
So that's why.
That is a given.
And, you know, for the record, and Richard, I do want you monitoring the chat room.
Right.
You know, of course I do. But don't get involved in it too much. It's a fucking shit show. It's fucking Dean trying to be funny. You know what that is? Cancer. So.
Never again a mention of Ferret Bueller in my entire life. I'm done.
Why would you bring it up again? He's only just calmed down. Why would you bring it up again?
Because that's what I do.
Because he fucking stirs shit. See, anybody who thinks that Steve isn't a dickhead, they don't know Steve. Steve is one of the biggest shit stirrers I've known in my life.
No,
don't even fucking start with that, you fucking fake news motherfucker. You stir shit like a master.
I
You're
used
like
to.
You're
I don't do it so much now.
Shit stirring.
I can, if I feel it necessary, you know, maybe whoop up a little shit stirring, but I don't care to do that so much anymore. Except just now.
Yeah.
I was trying to lighten the mood. It probably didn't work.
Sorry, your guys' NPR version of the show kind of made me almost nap.
Yeah. Much better at writing blogs than doing radio.
Well,
You are?
This isn't radio.
This is a podcast.
It's YouTube.
It's the same thing. Let's be clear.
Well, yeah, technically.
Without all the production and the fucking pomp and circumstance and the commercials.
Yeah.
No, you get commercials.
Do we?
Yeah, the little yellow lines on the bottom of the video.
Oh,
interrupt it.
Yeah, no. Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah, the fucking YouTube allows it to be monetized.
Podcasts killed the radio.
Star.
They should do a song about
Should they?
Well, it kind of. It's already been done in another manner. Video didn't really kill the radio star.
Are you guys ready for me to put you out of your misery and end the show?
I've been ready for that for half an hour now.
that. Yeah, like 40 minutes, man. Come on.
This has been the Fortean Slip, episode 36. Let's do the time slip again. If you like this shit, hit the little thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Leave a comment. Subscribe. Check out Bigfootin' with Keith and Colin. That's Richard's little comic strip on Facebook. Check out Para Breakdown. It's Phil Polling at youtube.com/Para Breakdown. Check out Matt Knapp. And yes, for the record, still trying to get Matt to do a show at youtube.com/bigfootcrossroads. As always, go check out Dred Funn at dredfunn.com and youtube.com/Dred Funn. I would also recommend you go check out Gene St. Jean's newest cryptid figures and statues. He's the Beast of Bray Road that he did, and I posted that on the Fortean Slip like page on Facebook, is awesome. So if you can, go check that stuff out. We will be back next week with another show.
Maybe.
Maybe. Should we leave him hanging? Is the Fortean Slip in doubt?
We should probably.
Huh?
Is the Fortean Slip going into hiatus?
Hiatus. Is it?
We'll find out. Next week's show, we'll let them know.
I'll do the show regardless.
We'll find out next week, listeners. same slip time, same slip channel. Yeah, that happened.
Did you really do that?
I really did that. That happened.
Wow.
Can we just end this?